This is... What fucking episode are we on? This is 12.
69.
This is episode 42069 of the ANR Unholstered podcast.
I'm down.
All right.
Shotgun one, now I'll do one.
Yeah, I got a tall boy Czech Pilsner from Moat Mountain. All right. So this is... Welcome. You know what? Jorge's just going to trim this up so all of this is part of the intro. Because it's just too good.
Perfect.
All right, so this is episode 12. We figured out what episode it is. This is episode 12 of the ANR Design Unholstered podcast. I'm your host, Alex Costa. This is the most clinical introduction ever. Golf clap. Yep. And today's guest is Dylan. Dylan is a amazing tattoo artist. They broke the internet the day that he tattooed under night vision in a room with everyone wearing night vision to watch him tattoo under night vision. Your Tuffasstats on Instagram. That's with a, you can see it in the podcast title. Anyway.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
TUFF. So yeah, dude, we've met at the cry party, hammer drunk, never exchanged names. We're in photos together, never exchanged names. We're just kind of like, I'm fucked up. Cry's cool, Novesche's cool, you're cool, and then like walk away from each other.
Yeah.
So that's the only proof that we've ever met is photos.
There's still one random person in those photos that I have no idea. No one knows who it is. I asked Breck, I asked Matt, I asked fucking...
Is it
no one knows.
Glasses, bald hair, long hair?
Classic. Yeah, I think so.
Glasses.
I have to find the photo.
Glasses, bald head. Like
we're hard styling in one of them. I have no idea who the fuck he is. I don't even think he has tattoos. But he took his shirt off.
No, he had tattoos. Yeah, he did. If it's the older looking guy, I think that was one of Colin Kelsey's buddies.
Really? I don't know. Maybe. We're all in it, but it was funny. There was like that random guy that no one knew who it was.
Speaking of tattooers that have SOTs, Colin Kelsey. He's a gun shop and a tattoo shop? Do they do it together?
I don't know.
You don't know Colin?
I hope so. I know him, and I speak to him, like, not super regularly, but a little bit. I didn't know he had an SOT, though. That's right as fuck.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure him and his business partner have, like, an SOT, FFL.
That's pretty nice. I should dabble. You should. So, anyway, you tattoo. Where are you located out of? Yeah, so I started tattooing in Pennsylvania, and I've been moving around for a long time. Actually, just moved to Southern Oregon. This week marks a year now, actually. So I end up coming out, right? Super crazy. I tattoo at Dependable Tattoo in Medford, Oregon. So it's like, 30 minutes from Grants Pass, which is the whole reason initially why I came out here. Hilarious enough, I was visiting Noveske, and I'm super tight with all them, obviously. And I was like super over West Virginia at that point, and I was like, yeah, you know what? It's time to move on. So I fucking was like just looking for spots to move. Came out here, loved the area, loved the people. So initially when I moved out, I didn't even have like a shop to work at. I was just like, I figured out on the fly. I'm really good at that. And then I found where I work now, and it like was pretty like chance, and it worked out really well. And I'm super, super hyped now.
Tattooing is tough, man. And what I always learned as a tattooed person, I found the artist that made sense for me, and I just let that artist do his thing. I've objected a couple times to some. Yeah, I mean, we were like spitballing what parts of my suit we want to do, like what do we want to do at certain parts of my suit, and my artist was like, let's do a tengu, and he's doing this or something like that, or let's do this, and it's a monk in a robe, but he's an animal. I was like, well, we already have a tengu in a robe, and I don't want, or I wanted to do a nine-tailed fox, but he wanted one transforming, like, from a person to a nine-tailed fox. And I was like, no, we already have a tengu transforming from a monk to a tengu. I don't want any more things transforming. Like, I just want a fucking nine-tailed fox. And he was just like, all right, cool. You know, but you got to let the artist do their thing. You tell them what essentially the theme of what you want. Maybe you have a couple details that have to be somewhere in there, but outside of that, you just got to let the artist look at the part of your body that they're putting on. They'll compose it specifically to accentuate the tattoo in that part of the body rather than, let's put this little 4-leaf clover on my big-ass titties or something like that. It's like, that doesn't fit.
The key word right there. You want it to accentuate the body part, not obstruct it. Like,
or
it's
just
a very mutual...
Draw attention to something else.
Yeah.
Not to,
that's super funny.
Not to talk shit, but a friend of mine I grew up, super nice girl. She was pretty overweight when she was younger. She's a completely different human now. But she got a dime-sized clover on, like, E-size boobies. And she put it, like, right there. And from, like, 10 feet away, man, it looked like she had a green mole.
Yeah,
and you're just like, don't do that. But that's okay. That's okay. That was a lifetime ago. We all have some stupid tattoo. Do you have any tattoos that you regret getting?
So I don't have like anything like fucking dumb. I mean, I definitely have silly, what a lot of people would say are dumb. Like I have a shark coming out of a banana, but it's like cool trad tats. So it's like there's nothing I regret getting. I just wish I would have waited longer to get tattooed because now I'm like traveling. I meet all these good tattooers. And it's like, oh, cool, I have, like, a clementine-sized spot on the back of my thigh open, or, like, insert whatever random spots I have left.
Right.
So that's, like, my biggest, like, regret would be just not having prime real estate to offer to these tattooers that I really like now.
That's a total bummer. I did get tattooed when I was 20... I was 20 years old when I got my first tattoo.
Good age, though.
I tried tattooing myself when I was a kid. I have black dots on my thumbs from just stabbing a needle into myself with Bic ink. Got inspired from American Beauty when the dude carves shit into his chest and wipes the ink, and I'm like, I wonder if that works. Stab, 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 stab. No, I went to an artist so the artist that did my suit, Mark Corliss, out of Spilt Milk Tattoo in Hyannis, Mass. Fucking super awesome dude, Ranger vet, world-renowned tattoo artist, and just growing up, he was that good that when I was growing up and I was in the kitchen where I worked and a couple Brazilian dudes I worked with got tattooed and they were like, oh, you gotta go to Mark, but he's like stupid expensive, and I'm like, oh, I don't even know what that means. Like, I don't even know what stupid expensive is. So I worked in another kitchen. This kid that I worked with had an eagle sleeve, but it was like Japanese-inspired eagle. And I was like, man, that's super tight. I really like that Japanese work. It's like the images pop off your skin with the grayscale background. Who's your artist? I want to go get a quote and get, brought some ideas in with it. And dude was like rad, but he was always outside smoking butts. He ended up being like a meth head later in life. He's one of those dudes like every 15 minutes needs a smoke break. I was broken in college, so I got my chest here, lotus. It's like kind of like a weird looking lotus and flames, and then the symbol in the middle is on there and up there, which is all blown out now because he's an asshole, and I don't really like how that lotus is sitting. But anyway, my grandfather left me a pendant when he died that he got from the war or on a trip or something. No, he got on a trip. My grandmother and him went to Asia, and he had this gold pendant. I have it, and either side had a different text in it. And it's not Japanese; it's Chinese, but it's still. I was like, I love Japanese tattoos. I grew up watching Akira Kurosawa movies and stuff like that. Like my dad showed me Seven Samurai when I was like 7 years old, and I was like, this is what I want to be. Fucking samurais are cool, right?
Yeah.
So
I'm wearing a literal samurai shirt right now.
Exactly.
One more wave. Yeah. Dude.
James is awesome. That's all his artwork in the background. I've got 9 pieces. So, that's how I got into it. And I got a chest piece and a quarter sleeve, but I took 3 years to finish it, and I would pay a few hundred, 300 here, 300 here, 300 here when I could afford.
Working incrementally.
Yeah, but I learned exactly that you can't do that, right? Especially if you want like paneling. So so that was the only tattoo I got from Fred, and then I got everything else from Mark, who's actually much cheaper, much more affordable. Gee, I hate the word cheaper. Much more affordable.
No, yeah.
And infinitesimally better artist. So, yeah, Fred fucking scarred the shit out of me. This purple is brand new. This is like 40.
So that Lotus was the first one you got?
Yeah, the Lotus chest sleeve and down here where these bars are. There, the Lotus, and then the Lotus here on my chest, down to my nipple. So that was like my first tattoo.
Okay.
So I started the suit essentially, and I was like, well, obviously, I'm now getting. I did like my left torso, I did my left outer thigh panel, then my torso, then my right outer thigh panel, then I went from then other chest panel. I don't even know what's on the so I finished that chest panel that was a whole torso panel into a quarter sleeve. Then I did sleeves, and then I did back, then I did the rest of my legs. But, man. Or no, I did back before my sleeves. I did my back.
Oh.
No, I lied. I did sleeves first, then back. Man. I would do it so differently next time, if I could.
Dude, that's like the biggest bummer in tattooing. You're like, fuck, I figured it out, but now I'm fucked. Like, it's already, everything's here now.
No, it's okay, though. I love everything about it. I love everything about my suit. It was a journey. I can tell the story about my journey. But what I know now about Japanese tattooing, and, like, even Mark, dude, like these waves on this shoulder are, like, they're really, like, light and pretty and detailed, and they have a little bit different, like, fingering effect to it. Mm-hmm. And it just, like, I don't have any waves like this anywhere else on my body. Mark went through, like, a wave phase, right? And then it goes...
As we all do with tattooing.
Right, so, like...
Figure out.
These waves up here from this quarter sleeve don't match these waves down here from this sleeve, which are a little bit different from these waves. So I have So I can, like, literally do a decade history of the evolution of Mark Corliss's waves.
That's so cool, though.
It is cool. I fucking love that, but honestly, if I could have done it differently, I would have saved up, like, 3 Gs and just gone for 2-3 weeks of sittings outlining my entire body.
Yeah.
Outline the entire fucking thing, crush the fucking theme, and make it fucking one unit, and then slowly fill it in, because then you're not changing styles, like you're just blasting ink into it. So I finished finally 2 weeks ago or a month ago, and then we just finished packing some more ink in here again. I never want to do that again. This sucks.
Yeah, my boy just got his chest done by his lady. She's also a super good tattooer, and she just did his chest, and I was like watching him just get that hurt put on him.
I don't mind chest, dude.
Yeah.
It's here where that, and I've been in the sun since the last time he's tattooed me.
Oh, totally.
And, like, your skin on the back of your neck is so thin, so he has me hunched over, and it just feels like a really frustrated ADHD kid with a fucking ballpoint pen on paper, just drawing fucking circles.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just like, and you can hear it, and I'm like, still, I have to go back in this one here. When I was sitting on my back, the skin scrunched up, but when it's at relaxed, you can see a little, like, silhouette of skin, like, untattooed skin. I'm like, fuck, I have to do this again. Dude, fuck that. So, you're covered. You have, like, your journey through tattooing on you, essentially. Like, going to exhibitions and all kinds of stuff, and, bumping into people. Yeah, I can feel for you. I don't have that same experience, but... Yeah, man, I would never change a thing. I'm super happy with my suit, but yeah, I have a lot of friends that, someone started tattooing and they'd get blasted all over, and then all the really good spots get taken by stuff that they aren't the happiest with.
Pretty much, but like you said, it's all part of the journey. Like, especially getting so heavily tattooed so young. Like, I started getting tattooed when I was in high school.
Right.
And, like, in Pennsylvania, it's legal to tattoo a minor if you have parental consent. So, like, my dad signed for my first few, and then I turned 18, and I started getting boom, 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 because I was so infatuated by the culture, the process, hanging out in the shop. So I had like probably 10 or 12 before I even left high school. So it was like kind of like a big deal. Yeah, like I was pretty tattooed, and like I got my fucking neck done when I was like 19. Like I got the left side of my neck done, and the right side of my neck done like a few months later. So I've been heavily tattooed for, you know, almost a decade already now.
Fucking badass.
Yeah, I guess. But it's like, yeah, now I'm at that point to where I wish I would have slowed down or like did, you know, just smaller tattoos or this or that first. But it's still same as you. I love the journey, and now it's like, it's hilarious to be like, people, they love the fact that you have tattoos. They won't even look at your tattoos. I'm sure you get that all the time. They'll be like, oh, I love your tattoos. And you'll be like, which one? And they're like, oh, just like, they love that they're infatuated by the thought of you having tattoos, not even necessarily what you have.
Yes.
And that's like super fucking obvious in like rapper culture right now, where you have all these fucking rappers with literally the worst tattoos
ever.
Like
you're a multi-millionaire and you have trash on your body.
Yeah, they literally are getting the worst tattoos. Like not even like, oh, hey, my buddy's an apprentice, let him tattoo. No, they're getting tattooed by like somebody's on fucking scissor in the back of a fucking RV or like something. Like some of the shit you see, you're like, what the? And that's on their face most of the time. They have like a fucking goddamn crazy fucking, oh, I'm gonna get a tire on fire on my cheek, or like some fucking retarded thing. And it's just so funny.
Yeah.
At least I'm not that guy.
I mean, at least Post Malone's aren't terribly done on his face.
No, he's got some good ones.
They're clean. The lines are clean, but yeah, you're right. You get all these. I'm glad the mumble rapper phase is gone. Like that was that's when our country started going to shit, where everyone just publicly talks about eating ass and mumble rappers existed. That was the turning point for our nation.
Yeah, man, eating ass is tight, but getting bad tattoos on your face isn't. Like, so just pick and choose your battles, you know?
Those are just notable human achievements of the American people when our country started taking a fucking really shitty turn. Yeah, so, dude, tattoos. So we were talking about this the other day, Corey and I was like, you know, it's cool, man. If you like Gucci kit, it's cool if you don't like have hobbies and you want to just collect Gucci gear. You don't need justification for spending money on things you think is cool. So the same thing with tattoos, and you and I talked about this. When someone gets tattooed, and it's their first tattoo and they're a younger person, they lie to themselves to justify that this tattoo has meaning.
Every time.
I don't care if you're putting your granny's death date, in a quote from her, in a fucking picture of her on your body, you're still getting it because you think it's fucking cool.
Yeah, otherwise you're just hanging up in your room. Like, tats are sick. You don't have to fucking write a 30-page essay on why you're getting a snow owl on your arm. Like, I'll just do the cool owl.
Dude, my favorite owl, and I really like them, and like I also donate to the Snow Owl Foundation, and because I have donated $2,000 to this donation, I'm gonna get it's like, no one cares. You like snow owls? Fucking put it on your body.
Oh, dude, it's the best. Especially like being in a tattoo industry, like craft, whatever you want to call it. It used to be a craft, now it's an industry, unfortunately. But like I deal with it every fucking day. I'm in the shop, like, you know, and it's funny because we're a very unconventional shop in the fact that we're a very real deal traditional tattoo shop. So if you come in acting a fucking fool, we'll fucking slap you around out back. We don't care. Oh, yeah. And like same with tattoos, like if people come in and they're like all like weird or hesitant and like trying to be like talking shit, or like, dude, just get the tattoo, like enjoy it. You don't have to like think of something and like make some weird grandiose, you know, explanation. You can just be like, yeah, I like flowers, so that's why I'm getting a fucking dandelion. Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, when my grandmother passed away, I was at her funeral and a goddamn dandelion flew across the sky and landed on my, you know, windshield. No, you can just be like getting dandelions. Yeah.
Absolutely, and you obviously get the waves of Pinterest white girls coming through. They saw an infinity anchor on Pinterest, and then you'll have 5 girls from the same geographic location come in and be like, can I get, and the second you get 2 people that have asked for the same tattoo, you just put that stencil right there and save it for another day.
Save it. That's what's crazy though, is like, even like being, I guess, like I'm an accomplished tattooer now, but like, and someone who's known for a certain style, the huge majority of what I do is standard style tattoos, like Pinterest stuff. You know, I just spice it up, make it better, because at the end of the day, like, the way I look at it is, my job is to provide a service. And if you're coming in and you want a quote or, you know, an anchor or any sort of standard tattooed bird silhouettes, like, that's fine. I'm going to give you the best version I can of that. It's just, I don't know. I feel like people get fucked up in like justifying or trying to legislate their taste. And I feel like that's kind of where it gets a little messed up. Like, there's so much to it to where it's a very, at the end of the day, customer service based business, even though I'm providing a skill and a craft.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's now a crazy industry. Tattoo artists coming out with their own machines, all the new pen machines that have come out. I mean, you know what blows my mind? And Mark was telling me about this. Transfer paper machines. He's like, they're all old school 3M machines from the 80s that aren't made anymore.
Thermofaxes. No.
Yeah, so, and they're like, he's like, what's stopping us from, in the tattoo industry, sending one of these over to China, having them remake it in its entirety and selling it as a whole new thing?
Yeah.
That would be a big moneymaker, you know?
Yeah.
Come out with
There's
one.
a lot of weird ones.
But
there's a couple like modern improvements, but a lot of like the good stuff is, you know, the stuff that we've been using since the beginning.
Like enclaves and, you know, just the old school sterilization equipment and
ultrasonics. People use that shit for like jewelry and guns, and it's funny that it's just like all meshed in together.
Yeah. So, what do you like to tattoo with? Do you do classic traditional machines? Do you do any of the tubes? The pens?
Yeah, I just tattoo with, just traditional tattoo, like, coil machines. I use disposable stuff, like, tube-wise. I don't use stainless steel tubes anymore just because for how much I tattoo and just, like, peace of mind, it's way easier to use disposable shit. You know,
yeah, oh, yeah.
Open, plastic, you know.
It's affordable enough now, too.
Yeah, you know, it comes out to be not so bad. So it's just a lot easier. And I do a lot of tattoos a day. I forget about how much I tattoo sometimes.
Right.
Because, like, even when we were down in Matagorda, and I did, like, 7 tattoos in, like, that, you know, couple-hour window on Sunday, and someone was like, do you need, like, a break? Do you need to relax? I'm like, no, it's, like, a normal day for me.
Yeah.
Even though we're, like, I mean, before that, we were fucking flying in helicopters and tattooing under night vision. But, like, doing six tattoos in a day is, like, extremely normal to me, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you forget about that stuff.
So, disposable's better. They made it affordable enough. Yeah. They make tubes that have the rubber grip already attached to it. They do all. That was big money too. Bringing in disposable tubes that already have the whole rubber portion on it, so you don't have to always sterilize the rubber portion. Do you use any of the pens or the?
No, I don't fuck around with rotaries at all. I just, like, I came up with the guy who taught me how to tattoo is a machine builder, so I was like, from day one, I was like, there's no way I'll ever use one of those. And then the owner of the shop I work at now is, like, a very well-renowned machine builder as well. So I just know enough to where I'm never gonna stray from that, you know?
So it's funny, like, Mark will line me with a normal machine, and he'll do certain detail work with traditional machines, but when it comes to fucking packing ink, especially in Japanese work where you have lots of hard blocks of color, dude, he puts a 26 mag in one of those rotary machines.
And the rotaries, yeah.
And I don't even feel it. Can't even feel it. The longevity of me sitting there for 4, 5, 6 hours getting tattooed.
Oh, yeah.
I can just go longer, and he can go faster. I guess it speeds his rotary with a 26 mag and packing. He's packing ink like twice as fast as he used to, and it's more comfortable for him for hitting huge portions of, you know, gray wash or whatever. Yeah. So I do now. You know, people are like, "Well, tattoos hurt? You're a pussy if it hurts." Or guys that tell you it doesn't hurt.
Oh, totally.
You're a liar. You're a fucking liar. You're lying to yourself if you think tattoos don't hurt. Tattoos, and that like blows my mind. Everyone always asks me, well, you know, that must have hurt. Where's the worst spot on your body? Like, there are fucking horrible places on your body.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, they fucking, everywhere sucks. At the end of the day, everywhere just sucks.
Yeah, it's never like, to certain people, like, I'm definitely up there to where most tattoos won't bother me. It's discomforting, it's annoying, But there's definitely some of the spots where you're like, oh yeah. Like at the end of the day, you're like, yeah, I'm just human. This fucking hurts.
You literally do that. Like, dude, he was tattooing me. He was packing my chest with that Lotus, and I was just like, dude, I fell asleep. I was just like, didn't sleep well last night. Had to drive 2 hours. And I just literally like nodded off, getting blasted there because it didn't hurt, didn't feel it. And then he got, as he went up, and they hit the soft spot right above the fucking collarbone. I was just like, I'm awake. That's you know, and I just say dirty things to him, like, fuck you, you dirty little whore. You know, and just say awful, nasty, naughty things to Mark, and he's just like, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it if you keep talking dirty to me like that. So we just fuck with each other, you know. And you know, fucking tattoo shops are rowdy places. You guys have no filters. You yell across the shops at each other.
All the time, dude. If you fucking sat in at fucking our shop for one day, you'd be like, I can't believe you guys are in business.
Yeah.
But they love it, dude. The fucking 18-year-old, like 21-year-old girls that come in and get tattooed, like that's a huge majority of my clientele is like 18 to like 39-year-old ladies, or you know, like super good tattoo. It's so there's like, oh dude, the fucking shit in the shop's so funny. But it's like we're fucking saying wild shit. We're blasting like fucking Slayer or something crazy sometimes, like. But it's that environment, and it's so like intoxicating because it's so real. Like, and people fall in love with that because they're so used to like this weird like coddling that's in business now.
Right.
So we're like, oh, how are you? Can we do this, that? Like, we're like, fuck you. You're like, you come in here, we're gonna treat you great. You're gonna have a great time, but we're gonna be yelling across the shop about how we just fucking beat somebody up at the bar last night, or we're talking about fisting or like some wild fucking shit. And then you know the soccer mom's like, oh, I'm really into this. Like, this is crazy. Like.
Yeah.
It's like a fucking reality TV to them.
Or the like you have your own inside joke, so it's the customer who doesn't know you well enough is trying to figure out what the fuck you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, dude, I'm gonna tell you what Mark did to one of his customers. He's got this like short, kind of thicker dude, kind of goofy motherfucker, but he's like really fucked up and funny, and like super fucked up and funny, but they always prank each other. And like while he was getting tattooed, they stuck some stickers on him, like I love cum or something like that. They wrote on him, like on like it wasn't stickers, it was like masking tape, right? So they ended up stealing his car keys, and while he's getting tattooed, and they put it all over his car.
Oh, that's so good.
But he didn't realize they put it on his license plate placard. And so, like, a couple days later, someone bumped into him and saw that it was still on the back of the car. So I guess, Mark called one of his police officer buddies, and they're like, dude, you gotta pull over somebody, right? And you gotta pull over this dude. Here's the license plate, here's the make. I told him to come here. You know? So he waited in an alley, saw the vehicle go by, pulls him over, and goes, sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. And I'm like, what's the reason for the stop? I need to show you something that's wrong with your car. And he walks him over to it. He goes, "You love cum," or something like that. And he pulled him over right in pull over now, like right in front of the fucking tattoo shop, and they videoed it out the window.
So perfect.
So, super funny stuff, man. I mean, and that's like, there's always something ridiculous going on when I'm in there, and all their fucking inside jokes, and you know, my artist Mark, he's taking a lot of my like sayings, so like every once in a while like, oh, that hurts, you dildo user, and so now he calls people dildo users all the time now, and you're just like, damn, that's my joke, dude. I subsequently
it's funny being around those people though, like being around like people that you relate to or whatever. Like I catch clients stealing my shit all the time. Or like, you know, like I say bozo, or I like will say frick or something like that. I'll be like, yo, that fricks. I heard a client the other day literally say, yo, that's frickin' fucks or something like that. I'm like, yo, you're literally ripping fucking shit from my vocabulary. You're hanging out here too much. Like, go fucking find another hobby.
Well, it's kind of hard to not say bozo when you're around you, because all you do is say bozo. And when we play Warzone on Call of Duty, you're just like, bozo. Oh, that fucking bozo, I'm gonna go get that bozo. And I'm just like,
yeah.
God damn it, Dylan, now I'm gonna say bozo. And
we were talking about it the other day in the shop. We were like, yo, if a bozo meets a bimbo and they fuck, they make a brat. I was like trying to think of it. That's pretty good.
A brat.
A bimbo and a bozo, dude. Those are like two of the best insults.
You're a bimbo. Dude, that's great. I mean, like, those are old school, though. Like, bozo's old as fuck.
Yeah, you have to wear, like, a paperboy hat or, like, fucking, like, shine shoes for a living.
Yeah, so, super funny shit. Yeah, I don't like the industrial tattoo culture. Not industrial tattoos, but the industry side of tattoos. Like, you'll never catch me going to a tattoo convention. Like, someone recently was like, why don't you go to a tattoo convention? You'd win awards for your bodysuit. It's like, I didn't get this bodysuit for other people. I got this for me. I'm not going to go in a fundoji and walk around on stage just to let people look at my booty cheeks and tell me if I'm cool or not. Like, I got a bodysuit. It's fucking cool. I don't need your approval. Go fuck yourself. And like you said, when people approach you in public and stuff like that, sometimes you get, I love your tattoos. I did get a really, like, kind of dorky kid at the register at the liquor store. You know, total dork. Like, definitely plays hardcore dorky video games, which is rad. Yeah. And he was just like, I really, really like your Japanese inspired tattoos. I really want to get sleeves, but I want horror sleeves. And we're like, cool. He's like, do you know anyone that does good horror? And my wife actually knows someone in Massachusetts that does horror specific portraits and stuff like that, like black and white. And the kid was so pumped, like, can you write that down? And then the Japanese specific was actually yesterday. I played a golf tournament, and this young kid, Tristan, were playing together, and he's like, dude, your Japanese tattoos are fucking badass. Like, I want a bodysuit so badly. And, I mean, there's not a whole lot of different tattoo styles in Asia. Japanese is, like, the one, and now you got people in Taiwan, Korea, Philippines, all tattooing heavily Japanese-inspired stuff. And this kid's half Filipino. So he wanted, like, an Asian-inspired, you know, Japanese-inspired tattoo. He was, like, super pumped about it. We were talking about it. And, but he was very specific. He knew exactly what he wanted and what he wanted to do. He's like, I'm just going to go for sleeves right out the gate. And I was like,
fuck yeah.
Yes!
Starting off rad as shit. Hell yeah.
Just do that. Don't fuck it up. Just do that. So what brought you into, like, what got you into firearms and kind of made your parallels in your networking to how did guns in your life and how did it start bring you to your relationship with Noveske? Because it's pretty obvious.
That is a good question.
You have a relationship with Noveske.
For sure.
You designed the Noveske tattoo print holsters that we sold. What got you from, you know, tattoo side into the firearms industry? Because you did help out a little bit and do a lot of work with Lorena and the gang. Yeah, what got you there? Tell us about that.
Man, I don't know. It's a good question because I've always been into guns. I've always liked guns, and I've had them for a long time. But I never posted about them. I never really was like super. It's not for like any sort of reason, but I just I don't like being flashy or like, oh, look at this. Right. So I never posted, and it's funny enough because especially like apprenticing your fucking dirt poor. Like I've been dirt poor for a long time. I finally started like making decent money in tattooing. And I've known about Noveske for a long time, but I could just never afford it because obviously it's top tier, you know, money comes with that. But I was like, one day I'll have one. So I finally started making good enough money to where I was like, I'm going to get a Noveske. Like, I'm going to fucking just bite the bullet, no pun intended, and just buckle down and get one. So right around that time where I was getting ready to invest that money, they announced the Space Invader. And I was like, fuck, this thing rips. I was like super into like sub guns and MP5s and stuff like that. So I was like, you know what, I'll hold off on the 5.56 from them, and I'll just wait for the Space Invader to come out. So they were like teasing it for like a while. So I'm like just patiently waiting, anxiously waiting. I have my phone literally to this day still always on Do Not Disturb and vibrate. I never, like, if you fucking try to call me, I just won't know, like, until I like look at my phone. but I like turned that. I like always had it on Ring and like turn on post notifications for Instagram because they were like, "Hey, we're gonna tease, all this stuff, and you'll get an email when we're about to release it." So because they were kind of like vague about it, so I was like, subscribe to Silencer Shop because they did the first batch through them. So
right.
Fucking subscribe to them. I turned on all my post notifications for Noveske, like was getting Ring alerts and shit. Every day I would like just check. And I remember what actually like caught and like sparked the whole interest was I think I made a post. It was probably on Corey's like either personal page or like on Tuffasstats. But I said my comment was like I was just like typing, and I never comment or anything, but I was like the anxiety awaiting this has given me stomach cancer. And I remember like Elrad like liked it. It was just like some dumb fucking thing that I wrote.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh cool, that's cool. So then like finally it comes out, and I checked my email like 1 minute after I got the email blast from Silencer Shop saying they were available. Jump out of fucking bed. I'm like calling them up, dialing. There's no way somebody beat me to that. I have the first Space Invader on the market for sure. I have to. There's no way. But so I get it, and I immediately started posting like, just like did like a skate. I called it the Skate Invader, where I like propped it up on this quarter pipe and did like a 5.0 fakie. I'll have to like repost it because I like took it down since. But like I just started posting about it, and Lorena actually saw it like through Noveske's page, and like DM'd me one night and was like, "Hey, do you mind if I like call you and just ask you some questions about it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, like go ahead." And it was like kind of late, like that was when I was still on the East Coast. It was like probably like I don't know, like 9:30, 10. Not late for me, but out here, it's way different now. It's like 3 hours. So I was like, well, fuck, okay. Or no, it was like midnight, so it's flip-flop, yeah, whatever. But anyway, so we like talked for like almost 2 hours for the first night on the phone, and she was just like asking me like about, how did I hear about Noveske, like what intrigues me about them, and I just told them, obviously counterculture stuff, like skateboarding, all this, that, and we just like kind of hit it off. So we like started texting after that, and just became like super good friends. And at that point, I was like traveling a lot for work and just for fun. And right around then was when they did the strategic, what is it called? It's not strategic match, like they do the shooting matches, like competitions.
Yeah.
But the last one for the series was in North Carolina, which is like 10, so it was like probably 10 or 12 hours from where I live in West Virginia at that point. So I was like, well, I'll come down. Except it fell on the weekend that I was literally just getting back from Barcelona, like a couple days prior. So I had to like, it was like so much traveling in like this super short time. But I went down to that match and just hung out with them for like the whole week. We shot the match. We had a lot of fun. And like we just all super connected. Like me, Megan was there, Pedro, Abe and Elgin, and then obviously Elrad. And it was just like, we could all like just be best friends immediately. So it was like hella tight. And then we like hung out a bunch. And then I ended up going out to visit a lot. And it's funny because like people have asked me to do stuff like in firearms industry and like outside, and I like never wanted to. Like I never wanted to do like graphic design work. I was always like, I'm a tattooer, I don't know about that stuff. But like here comes this brand to where like I love them so much off the bat without even knowing them. And then like I become such good friends with them. So I'm like, what am I gonna tell my friends no? Like fuck that. So I like just did the first thing I did was the pinup design for them. And then I did a couple more after that. But it was so crazy towards like all these like different circumstances to where I've always just said no to people, or like I'm so picky with what I do.
Yeah.
To where it just made sense, here's a brand you love, why wouldn't you do something for them? Right. And then especially becoming such good friends with them.
That's a cool story, man. That's like the beauty of the internet, dude.
I fucking literally just said that the other day. For as much as I love to talk shit on the internet, dude, I owe so much in my life to Instagram. Like, tattooers I met, the whole reason I'm in Oregon and living now is, essentially because of the internet and meeting Noveske and coming out to visit and then falling in love with the area. And it's crazy. Like, it's such a good tool, and it's a double-edged sword at the end of the day because you can use it for good or you can use it for bad. Right. But you can meet a lot of good motherfuckers on the internet for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's super cool, and Elrad is a wonderfully sweet woman.
Oh yeah,
super
literally
fucking
like
cool.
Sweet and genuine.
Super cool, and I've met Lorena probably 6 times. It's always at SHOT Show. It's always when everyone's out partying and having fun, and I've always like been super intrigued by Noveske. I remember seeing the Johnny when it came out on the shelf and just being like, man, that gun is beautiful and it's Johnny Tribute.
Yeah.
Like, I want that. But again, yeah, it was always out of arm's reach because of how the price matches the quality, like you said. So, it was always an admirer of the brand, and it was a very inspiring brand, being a rifle company and a lifestyle company at the same time, which makes sense because like guns and lifestyle go hand in hand. But the branding and the marketing and again the counterculture, like I grew up skating, BMX, mountain bike, like all the all that stuff. So, and the hardcore scene and everything that is not normal. So it just was that allure, and it was actually finally, I talked to her at SHOT Show a few times, like, let's do a collab. It's SHOT Show, so it's hard to remember, who you talk to,
yeah.
what about,
dude,
and what's important.
It was just mayhem.
But again, dude, the power of the internet, Elrad saw the collabs that we were doing with Warm and Fuzzy. She was just like, let's do something. Yeah. And, the first time we talked on the phone, it was like 2.5 hours. Same thing. Yeah. Just spitballing ideas and website ideas and marketing ideas and just bouncing ideas off each other for the future, And it was fucking cool. She's such a good person, so...
Dude, I owe so much to them, for meeting so many people, for just giving me a good chance in life. Like, ultimately meeting you and, a lot of the people we know, because of all that weird venture shit. Like, it's so crazy to where you think of just, like, a small DM or this or that can change literally your whole fucking life.
Yeah, and, like...
So I attribute everything to them.
Yeah, and I saw... So we didn't, follow each other, really, but it was, I posted a picture of... that group photo, and then someone I think tagged you in the comments that there's Dylan, and then I followed you followed me, and then we talked, and it was like, let's talk about this, and let's do a design, and let's do this, and get Elrad on board, and it was cool, and that's how we kind of connected and got closer, and we played video games a little bit here and there together. So yeah. So then, we went to Texas together. We shot pigs out of a helicopter.
Yeah. Dude, that whole trip was so fucking funny. It was such a good time.
What an awesome trip, dude. Being a helicopter is cool.
Yeah.
Did you go down to Texas on a trip prior with those dudes?
I didn't. So, they did one with a bunch of those same people. Not long, maybe a month or two before we went down. They didn't go to the same. They didn't go to Matagorda. They went to, I forget the name of the town, but they went down somewhere else with Breck and everybody. But no, I didn't go on that one. I forget why. I think I was just working or something like that. Yeah. We should definitely do another one soon.
Yeah, those little Robertson 44s are terrifying though.
You were definitely skeptical. I'm just at that point where I just don't care. So the best part is I just told the story fucking literally 2 days ago to a client because they were asking me all the stuff on my Instagram that we were posting. But do you remember? So we went up Saturday. We went up one Saturday, one Sunday. I think it was Sunday. The second time we went up, somebody showed us a fucking video of that guy crashing. An hour before we went up.
And it looks like the same terrain.
It looks no, it's for sure South Texas. And somebody's like, yo, you gotta watch this video. And they're showing us this video on their fucking iPhone. And it's a fucking helicopter on a hog hunt going down and crashing.
In an R-44. Same helicopter.
Same everything. And we're like, yo, we're literally in here. We're about to go up. And thankfully I just don't really care, so it's whatever. But I was like, if you show that the wrong person, they're gonna have an anxiety attack and hyperventilate, passed out.
And not to mention,
so funny.
Everyone knew we were flying, and I probably had 30 DMs being like, "Were you in that bird? Were you up there? Was it part of your group?"
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of people were asking if that was the bird that was ripping us around. So I was just like, "Damn! This is, what a soft landing." In that video.
Yeah, from the video, it was pretty crazy because he handled it so well, and it worked out thankfully for everyone. But it was to catch it on camera and all that shit. You're just like, wow. And then we're like, okay, cool, that was a cool video, now we're going up.
And I mean, those pilots are pretty serious. Like, Ryan Ashcraft is the most fucking, like, Houston, Texan, like, all right, guys, let's go. Get the bird, get the bird. Yeah. But then, like, he gets...
He's a word you would use.
Yeah, he's like, you know, Yosemite Sam type, like, just, like, total cartoon character. But the second he gets on FAA, he's just like, man, this is da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and the radio voice comes on.
Yeah. Dude, every time. So funny, man. It was hilarious.
And then we're just like, we're sitting there with Kit and Rifles going, oh, my name's Brian, and I'm going to fucking be all professional right now. And he's like, shut the fuck up, guys.
Yeah, because obviously we're in the fucking helicopters, bam, 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 and we're fucking screaming and carry on. And then he'll be like, you know, this is FAA, we're coming to the left. You know, like, and it's so funny because there's just like that, you know, flip switch.
Yeah, from the control tower, coming at 27 knots. You're just like, damn, dude, where did this come from? Who are you?
So good. Yeah, that dude rips, too. What a good pilot.
Great pilot. Fun. We won't talk about how much he rips, though.
Yeah, he definitely does that. I remember fucking him picking up the honey badger, and he was going to shoot the honey badger, because Kevin was, like, hyping up how quiet it was, and he literally picked up just, like, a pistol and just fires. Like, just 3 shots.
He's like...
Because he doesn't even, like, rip it up. Like, just straight arm, just and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah, this makes sense.
He doesn't get... And it wasn't even, like, a stiff wrist. It was, like, kind of loose and just dong.
No! It was just a no fucks given fun time.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what it's all about, though. It's about having a silly goose time, and that's it.
Silly goose. There's another one of Dylan's catchphrases. Or commonly used phrases, silly goose.
Yeah. Silly goose time, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone listening wants to comment as a doctor of sorts, but I had a fuck ton of Gulf oysters on that trip, and they are not good compared to Northeast oysters. And ever since day 2, it's gonna sound horrible, but when you were sitting in our room and I did my morning ritual, and you're like, dude, what the fuck is that smell? And I was like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I don't know, maybe it was the food last night, but, like, it smells bad today. It's like fucking wet concrete. And you're just like, dude, what the fuck? That hasn't gone away since that day. Really? I still have an average 50% of rituals that smell like that. I don't know if I picked up a parasite or something. Like, I probably should go get blood work.
You should get that checked out. I should see a proctologist or something. I don't know what's going on.
I went to a GI. I have to get a surgery for something else soon, so I talked to him, and he did the whole...
Alerted him?
Kind of, but he's not, like, gut biology. He's a surgeon, so he's just like... he's like, well, drink two glasses of Metamucil every day for 2 months, and then give me a call, and if you're still having issues...
Solidify it?
Yeah, well, no, like, that's like fiber. Right? Like, it makes it shit float. Yeah. So he's like, do Metamucil and take this probiotic and keep it refrigerated, and
that's gonna be my next question.
In 2 months, come back. But between that time, I was on, like, doxycycline at one point because I had an infection in my wisdom teeth, so they put me on doxy, or monocycline, or doxycycline, but they put me on a really heavy antibiotic that would kill pretty much anything in my body, and it's still there. So I don't know. Maybe I have colitis. I don't know, but something is fucking wrong. I feel regular. I'm telling you right now, I feel regular.
But it's just your bowel movements that have been.
No, they've been regular. Everything's been regular. It's the odor. I have to chop all this out. We can't talk about this. Like, we can't talk about pooping.
We can talk about whatever we want. This is the internet.
Okay.
It's probably the most censored I've ever
So it's just the odor. Yeah. Everything else is fine. Nothing is out of the ordinary on the
like
cycle.
An oil slick.
It's just the fucking odor, dude.
Yeah.
And my wife is like, why do you smell like mud? And I'm like, what the fuck? I knew something's...
The puppy. It's the puppy.
No, it's not the puppy, man. It's ever since March fucking 5th, 2021, the date that'll live in infamy. But you know what's funny is it's not all the time. It's like when I'm feeling not great that it's like that.
Yeah.
Anyway. Fucking Christ, I gotta stop talking about this shit. Alright. So, we're done talking about poop now, bro.
Yeah.
This Bobcat, dude, it's so cool.
The 20. What rounds do you have in it right now?
Federal 40 grain.
Full disclosure, I'm also not a big 22 guy. I kind of need to get into that market.
Dude, this shit is so fucking quiet. So, I really like this, right? You can jam up a full mag. And the cool thing about it is, you could put 8 rounds in the mag, but it won't have any compression, so you put 7. So it's a 7+1. You know what's really cool? Instead of closing the breech, putting the mag in, and racking one.
I love that.
Instead of racking into the chamber, you just go pop the breech, drop the tube,
like that.
Close it. Then, and here's why I think they did it. This is a double single action. You can do both, right? You can pull the trigger to cock it and drop the hammer, or you can do single action. If you go breech, you can quarter cock, pop that breech open, stick the round in the tube, feed the mag, and you never have to decock the hammer.
Interesting.
So it's smart. It's a smart little gun. Jorge was saying that Israeli Mossad used this as an execution tool because it's so little, so compact, and so quiet. And it's true, dude. This thing's tiny. I mean,
yeah.
I have an Omega. No, I have a Gemtech Halo. I think not the Halo. What the fuck did they call it? Genesis. It's their little tiny 9mm like pillbox can. It's only like this big. I'm gonna throw that bitch on this gun,
dude.
And it has wipes. I just have to replace the wipes in it.
Yeah.
But it's got wipes and run only the 22 out of it. That will be fucking cool. And the reason why I think it's gonna be great is that can blows so much if you put it on any type of semi-auto gun that has a reciprocating slide. What happens is, as the barrel tips, the guide rod doesn't tip as much, so the guide rod actually impacts the base of the can and chews the fuck out of the aluminum on that little baby can. So this one obviously doesn't. It's got the little fucking action there.
Damn.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute, but I'm like...
That's like the perfect word for it, too.
So,
it's dainty and cute.
So, probably shouldn't say this on the air, but there are times where I'm not going to use this for that because I have a dog now. But, in my head, when I used to dogless hunt birds, I was like, man, it would be really fucking nice to have a bobcat with a can. Because there's times where I'll flush a bird and I'll hurt it. I'll injure it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, could be a woodcock, could be running. And I don't like, obviously, injuring and leaving an animal to suffer. And I could put a woodcock out of his misery by ground shooting it if I've already winged it. But there's like a 90%, well, no, there's a 90% chance that I obliterate the animal rather than like, because when they're in flight and you hit them with a spread shot pattern, the pellets will go through the animal, only a couple will hit, whatever. You fucking ground fire a bird, the pellets that hit the ground bounce up towards the bird, and it just eviscerates its existence. So you're just wasting it. So it's like, do I let it get away injured? Or do I obliterate it so it's not fucking injured? Or, and in my head, I'm like, man, humanely finish the animal with a suppressed 22 so that you're not pulverizing its existence. You can still still harvest breast meat off of it, but you can take the animal quietly, carefully, and more precisely, since you've already like severely wounded it and you don't want it to get away. Because like that's the last thing I want is the animal to get away. Now, I don't think that's legal, and I would never do that.
Really?
I don't think so. I don't think
you mainly put it down.
Yeah, I don't think so because it still constitutes as hunting, and you're still hunting that animal.
God.
So, and you're not, like in New Hampshire, you're not allowed to hunt upland birds with rifles or 22s. It has to be it has to be a shotgun. Now in Idaho, you can fucking splat fucking grouse all day with a 22 and it's legal. Just fucking headshot them or shoot them in the breastbone. But New Hampshire, you're not allowed to. Punch in the head. That's if you can get it. These things are runners, right? So.
Oh, okay. So
yeah, you wing a grouse, dude. You wing a grouse, dude, and it can't fly. Really? It's run. Oh, dude, fucking grouse will.
We're going.
No, come to New Hampshire, dude. We got upland birds right out back. I got the pup. She'll be 7 months on the nose for bird season. So I'm gonna take her straight to my little woodcock cover.
Is that usually when you start it? Like
October 1st.
1 year.
Oh yeah.
No, I meant for the really.
Oh yeah, she won't be like an all day dog. You know, she'll be. You don't want to work them too hard when they're that young either. No. They're still developing. But she'll be a morning hunter. You know, if I go to my little, I have a couple woodcock spots. If we take her out for a couple hours, she'll be fine. If I take her up north and let her hit a mountain for the morning and then head home, it's perfect because I don't like. Personally, I love to hunt all fucking day long for birds. I'll do sun up to sundown for grouse just because it's just gorgeous. You're up in the mountains, but yeah, it's just it puts a lot on a young dog. So you want them at least through a heat cycle before you really hammer them all day long. Yeah, heat cycles are kind of important. It's the hormones that the body produces in the pups develops their joints and their body parts and ligaments and stuff. So you want them to at least go through a heat cycle for female before spaying them. So, dude, so tattoos again. We'll keep everything. We have to keep bridging everything back to tattoos. So
hey, that's all good.
So upland bird hunting. There's a guy called the Upland Lowlife. He's a cool dude to follow. Throat tattoos, hand tattoos, really fud dude that likes to be in his upland hipster attire and hunt birds. Super nice guy. He's strongly on the liberal side of guns. But again, a really cool page to still follow, and does a lot of cool woodworking as well. Kind of does wood etching. But again, tattoos in an upland sense, it's usually a fuddy-duddy.
Oh, I would imagine.
Hip kind of thing. You know, you carry a gun that's similar to the region that you're in. I learned that, like, New Hampshire is a side-by-side country. I brought,
like an over-under.
So I brought, a high-end over-under, and everyone was just staring at me like, what the fuck is that?
Oh my god.
No, but it's fine. But side-by-sides are fucking $100,000 guns, too. So, but it's just...
But that's the fact.
But it's kind of like the history of it here. Like, the guys that hunt here want to hunt more traditionally because it's a pastime rather than, So it's all cool. And you've never bird hunted. What have you hunted?
No. Pigs. I've done predator stuff like coyotes and stuff back in West Virginia. But I shot tons of birds with a BB gun when I was a kid. I don't know if I'm incriminating myself on Zoom right now, but never legitimately bird hunted.
Dude, I never shot. I had pellet guns as a kid, and I just wouldn't shoot animals.
Oh, I've got a fucking triple-digit confirmed kill with a BB gun, dude.
Oh my god!
I just fucking smoke motherfuckers out our kitchen window or whatever. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, I didn't do that.
Hamster, whatever.
Is this a confession?
That was dude. That's a good story. So that's I don't know. My family is pretty they're cool-ish, but weak-minded. My brother and my dad. My mom, they're all super, just too sweet-hearted people to hurt anything. Dude, my fucking brother had this hamster named Stewie, and it fucking literally started expanding exponentially.
What?
So, for those who don't know what exponentially means, that means 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + 2 is 4. It's double, 4 + 4, or 4 times 4 would be 16. Exponential growth is an insane amount. So this fucking hamster one day literally just started growing exponentially. It was a normal hamster. Woke up and it was almost double the size the next day. And we're like, what the fuck? That's so weird. Wasn't pregnant, nothing around. So this fucking hamster is gigantic by I don't even know. So the second day it's doubled. And then the third day almost doubled again. So it's essentially like times 4.
So are we talking about just growing overall, or is it swelling?
Dude, it's swelling. Yeah. No, this is like, the hamster's already like a year and a half old.
So this thing's like dying. It's like...
Oh, but something is wrong. So it's like literally like this big to this big to this big. To where it's like...
Are its limbs like just sticking out? Oh,
barely. It's like stuck in its habitat. It was huge. So like, I'm gonna take this thing out back and I'm gonna shoot it with a BB gun. And like, to put it out of its misery, because it was still just like, like barely alive. So I fucking literally just like dig in a little grave, put it in a shoebox, and then I fucking popped it. But in my head, when I shot with this little BB gun, I was like, it's gonna explode like the fucking Ghostbusters shit. Like, it was so...
Ectoplasm?
Yeah, some serious shit. It was so funny. But like, I don't know, I just always been down for whatever. It's so fun. I think about that all the time. This is the fucking exponential growth of a hamster.
You're a fucking killer, bro. We're lucky right now, dude. Oh, that was one area. Raindrop power out. So when we started the stream, we're actually recording it in segments just in case, because power did pop.
That happened. Really? Wow.
I'm not the only one, because originally I was like, I heard my UPS beep, and I was like...
Yeah.
And it was coincidental because my PC was trying to do a driver update, but it was boot looping on the driver update, and still is. And I'm like, did my computer just power surge or something? There's no way my computer's gonna power surge to that level to cause that big of a disturbance in a 20 amp breaker. Like, no fucking way. But no, everyone else lost power too. So it's just my phone. And...
Do you have a generator there? I don't know why I just said that so weird.
Do you have a generator there? A generator?
Me and my little brother always rip each other to catch something.
Do you have a generator? It's like, it wasn't even like hillbilly, it was like just like dorky. Like, do you have a generator?
Yeah, I don't even know how I said that.
I'm gonna use that from now on. You're a generator.
I like that.
Yeah, so I do. We have a lockout kit on our it's not like an automatic pad fed. I eventually do want to get an automatic gas fed on a concrete pad like generator, but the only problem with those, they're like 2 gallons of propane an hour.
Jeez.
So it's like $7.
You have to worry about like fumes and shit coming back.
No. They just 2 gallons an hour. That's $7 an hour to keep it running, keep your house running, and we lose power for 3 days at a time.
Not to mention that you have to store all that fucking propane.
So we're propane fed at my house. So my house is on a 500-gallon tank, and the company that I buy propane from are fucking horrible. Their price, I compared it to everyone else locally. They're like $1 per gallon more, which is absurd. So
yeah, especially when you're buying that much.
Yeah, and I'm like on like, I think I have like 17% of a tank right now, and I'm just like, I'm not filling up till the end of the summer. Yeah, because the lowest propane prices are like in August, because whatever. And I also my water heater, or like my hot water tank in the house is also propane fed for the heating element in it. It's coil fed off my furnace. So I kind of want to switch that to an electric whole house water heater, because that's a gallon of propane a day to keep the hot water on the house, and that's that's like $3.60 a day just to keep the fucking water hot in the house. So fuck that.
The shit that they don't teach you that's not so great about being a homeowner.
Yeah,
I mean, buy a house, and then you're like fucking dealing with all this shit.
And then the propane company put me on an autofill schedule without my permit. I didn't consent to it. So I was, and they wouldn't put the fucking receipt bill on the door like they're supposed to. So I would just get random fucking notifications that I was like past due on a propane bill, and my bill's like fucking, $1,300, and I go run outside, and I'm still at 100%, and I was like, when the fuck did they fill that up? Like, they're supposed to notify you, and I'm like, I've never got notification of fill-ups, like, what the fuck? And they're just like, well, we'll disable this, sir, but you're going to have to wait 2 weeks if you ever want to get filled. So, so I'm just waiting until I hit the 10% mark, which is hopefully going to be like in August. And but it's, it's okay. we have a wood stove in the basement, and I don't know what that is. We have a wood stove in the basement, and if we leave the basement door open at the top, and we also have blowers, like some forced hot air registers.
Oh, wow. Cool.
That take, but it's weird, dude. There's holes in the ceiling and in the walls that have fans. And you turn them on, and they blow the heat in the basement around the house. Problem is, they put the heat registers in the middle of the walls, and they put, like, on the floor, not in the middle of the walls, on the ground, in the middle between two wall segments, in the fucking living room against the walls that observe the, like, fireplace area. So I put my couches down, both my heat registers are covered.
Yeah.
So they don't do anything now because that's where the fucking couches go.
It's 70 when it's 40, like,
or,
it's just like all fucked
well,
up.
no, not even that. This is like, dude, this is so analog. This is like you flip a switch to blow hot air from the room that is your finished basement.
Yeah.
So I have a finished basement gear room with a wood stove, and the only blower that really kind of makes sense is the one that goes to the kitchen. Get this. It's a fan going straight into a heat register in my fucking kitchen. So if you're sweeping the kitchen, dirt falls into the fan. Like, I dropped kibble.
Oh, cool.
I dropped kibble one time, and it was, like, rattling the fuck around. I had to run downstairs, turn the fan, and then, like, the kibble just drops onto the basement floor. And you're like, who the fuck thought this was a good idea?
Yeah.
But, I mean, you know, so we just leave the door open to the top of the stairs, and I put a normal electric plug-in fan to blow it up, and that heat just rises, dude. The top floor, well, we keep the door shut below to the offices in the wintertime so we don't lose all the heat up in the attic when we're not up here. And not to mention, this is my podcast room. When I got 3 PCs running, dude, it keeps the whole upstairs hot. So we fire that.
3 PCs total?
Yeah, so I have a streaming PC, a gaming PC, a gaming laptop that's always running another video game. Whenever we're playing Warzone, I'm playing another game too. So, and then
that doesn't slow down your fucking internet?
No, I have a gig. I've got 1,300 megs over 42 download.
Jesus Christ, dude. I'm on the cut. Like, even you trying to text me when we play sometimes, they don't go through.
It's so
like, I have alright internet out here, thankfully, but
dude, it's cheap. Crazy. It's so cheap now, though. Like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
We were paying $113 a month for 75 megs over 2 upload, and I was paying like, and then they're like, they upped my rates to like 150, and I was like, what the fuck? And they're like, Alex, you can literally get like 300 gig over 5 for $90 a month. And I'm like, wow, has internet advanced that much that speeds go faster and get cheaper? He's like, yes. So I'm paying like $157 for 1,300 megs.
Damn.
So
you're the first fucker that I'm like almost on the precipice of upgrading to a PC to game. Because I definitely take Warzone / Xbox like way too seriously.
If you played PC, like, you would get an average of 3 to 4 more kills a game.
Which is a lot considering like I was averaging like 11 to 13 last night when I was playing. Depending on what I'm playing and who I'm playing with.
Do you play on a gaming monitor or you play on like a TV?
Yeah, I have a small little monitor. It's like 22 inches. I used to play on a big TV, which is retarded. I guess I shouldn't say that. It's mentally disabled. I used to play on a big TV because they were like, you know, just coming from like not having shit when you're younger. Like, yeah, the bigger the TV, the better. So like, I fucking had this like 65-inch TV. That's actually what I started playing on. Well, not started playing on, but
so your head's moving.
Yeah, when you think, my eyes are just like strange.
You have so much travel to see stuff.
So then, about a year and a half ago, I was like, oh, wow, they're playing on 22 to 24-inch monitors or whatever, so I got one.
27's the sweet spot for me.
Really? I think mine might be 24 or 22.
144.
Like so much more. Boom. It's just bam, bam, so close and just so fast. Just sit a little closer.
Yeah, I play on an LG 4K 144 27-inch gaming monitor, and you can like customize the experience through the monitor, through NVIDIA as well. And if I toggle underneath the monitor, I could put a crosshair on my screen.
Directly in the center.
So I put a little red dot. It has a red dot function or a crosshair or a green dot. I put a red dot. I turn the red dot on so that in Warzone when you're running and your fucking reticles bouncing around,
out.
it's not. The dot on the center of the screen, I know that it'll settle. Or if I'm running iron sights in Warzone, if I'm running iron sights in Warzone and I bring the gun up, the red dot
it'll be lollipop.
It'll be lollipopped.
What?
That's
so funny.
Yeah, so I run that when I play.
Crazy. That's an old Gears of War hack was like that. If you ever fucked around with Gears of War, I was like super into that.
Yeah, you focus, you zoom in, focus, dot on the screen, unfocus. Yeah, that was good for shotties.
Back then, for shotguns, they would put a small piece of tape right in the middle of their fucking. I can't remember where my camera is. They would put it right on the middle of their fucking screen once you zoom in. Because that was like way before fucking you could ever do something like that. That's so funny. Wow.
I mean, I saw an ad on YouTube. It was a company that made a little suction cup with a red LED.
Get the fuck out.
And you hang it and you stick it to your TV, and it's a USB that you plug into the back of your whatever.
What?
But that was for big TVs. That's like if you're running like a 60-inch and you want a little, that's not going to obstruct that. But yeah, so this has a built-in little crosshair, and so it's nice even on like the SUSAT multi-zoom when I'm running a stoner with its actual crosshair. It's got that little red dot in the middle, and it's just quicker for me to pick it up instead of like.
Damn.
So like if I'm trying to get headshots and shit with it, instead of using a crosshair, just is my crosshair perfectly? That dot just sits right there and just tag them.
Damn, cheater, hacker, liar mode, dude. That's crazy.
Cheater, hacker, liar, yeah, but that's not my Cronus though. No, I'm just kidding. I play controller, and you can also overclock your USBs. So
I don't know what that means.
So overclocking things in PCs is what you want to do when you have a PC. You like on my streaming PC and my gaming PC, I overclocked my my RAM, so my RAM runs faster and smoother and can process better. You overclock your USBs. USBs are at. So when you plug your controller in, let's say you hardwire to like an Xbox.
Yeah.
The USB 3.0 has a delay on the actual USB port. It's like a 0.5 millisecond delay. So when you're on a controller hardwired to a PC and you do an input, like you move the controller, there's actually a 0.5 millisecond delay from the actual action to the reaction through the line.
Wow, like a take-up almost.
There's a tiny bit of take-up. When you overclock it using this third-party program that you can download, and there's YouTube videos on it, you can toggle your offset to be 0.01 milliseconds. So your actual, when you touch your controller, it reacts even faster. And then I play a Battle Beaver controller, and I got like contextual tap. So my triggers only move a millimeter.
Oh wow! Opposed to just some like like Xbox one that you gotta go all the way down.
Well, do you have an Xbox Pro Elite controller?
No, I just have the fucking. It's like the Xbox, the new Xbox One. I forget what.
Does it have paddles?
Like that. No, I don't have any of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I play. Dude, I'm a fucking 8 when it comes to this shit.
Okay,
I just happen to be that good.
This is a Battle Beaver. See the little those buttons there? That's where my middle fingers sit.
And you can program them.
So they're mapped. Right. So my climb, my A button, is it A?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, my A button is actually where my middle finger is. So I can climb. So my right one is melee and my left one is climb. So I can, that's my A button. So I can climb up stuff and melee people so much faster and never have to take my thumb off the joystick to melee.
Damn.
So it's a little quicker. And then the Xbox, so that controller was like a $230 controller. And Battle Beaver fucking didn't map it correctly. And then I had sent it in for repair. And then they didn't even map a button altogether. So I kept having to go back and forth. And
so you can't do it yourself. They have to, like, the actual.
No, it was like built and soldered. So, dude, you need to buy one of these Xbox Elite Pro controllers.
That's the one my buddy uses. He was telling me about it.
Right in the inside, there's these little sliders. You can change the throw on your triggers. So if you move it all the way up, you have full travel.
Yeah.
And if you close the gap, you get contextual travel.
What?
So your fingers move half, 1/3 the distance, and then you can map the paddles in the inside. You load up their program on the PC, and you can map them. You're like, oh, I want this to be. So you can literally hit all 4 of your thumb buttons down here instead, so you never have to take your thumb off of your joystick.
Wow.
These are $179, I think, on Amazon. And
totally reasonable if you play well, yeah.
So, dude, and you can swap out your stick heights. They're magnetic. And you can swap out your D-pad. You can pull your D-pad off, and you can swap your D-pad out. It's all magnetic. Oh, wow. And then the paddles, if you don't want the paddles, you just pull them out. They're magnetic. They're magnetic, and they fall. They're literally a magnetic hinge, dude. Like, you can see, it just comes right out.
Yeah.
So,
the trigger travel is what's so enticing to me. Like, mil-spec to fucking Geisley SDE.
Yeah.
So rad, dude. What the fuck?
So this
wrecking it.
It took me a couple days to get used to this, and I was starting to throw down like double digits in Rebirth with this controller.
Yeah, there's been a big gap, in like your later level playing as well.
Oh, thanks.
In a good way.
And then I got my Battle Beaver back, and then I started playing back on my Battle Beaver because I like the Battle Beaver because I had the rumble patch removed, so it weighs nothing. I turn rumble off. I don't want to feel that I'm getting shot.
Oh, I feel like that would be so weird. I still haven't. You told me that, and I still haven't fucked with it or changed it. But I feel in my head it makes more sense. But I've been playing for so long, where I'm like, if I don't feel the vibrator on the controller, I'm like, oh fuck, my battery's gonna die, and like that's all I can think about is like the controller dying.
I love how you just went straight to vibrator instead of I didn't feel the vibration or the rumble.
No, the vibrator in the controller, bro.
Yeah, your vibrator. All right, we're straight from the bat. So, what got you into guns originally? What were you like? Like, what? Did you grow up shooting? Is it part of your childhood?
Getting into shooting originally, my dad shot a little bit, but he was never a hunter. My grandfather was a hunter. He's more so the guy who I would say I inherited a couple of his rifles, shotguns, and shit once he passed away. But my uncle actually. Yeah, my uncle's the one who actually took me shooting for real first. Like I said, I had BB guns growing up, 22, whatever. But my uncle was the first one to actually take me out, and I shot 22 with him. Then eventually worked up to a 308 and a 30-06 and stuff like that. But I don't know. And then even that, there was I was always very intrigued by it. It's very cool. I get obsessed with certain things in life. So that was definitely one where I'm okay, here's something I do. I want to do it to the best of my ability. Which is funny because I think I heard once how you do anything is how you do everything essentially. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. So to me, even now, I take that approach to everything. If I'm going to do it, I want to do it very well.
Right.
So he showed me, I don't even know how young I was, but early teens by the time I was trying to shoot for real. And then just got really into it and just slowly got more and more into it, and then getting into ARs and stuff like that. It's just even incrementally cooler. I still will go out and I'll shoot a 30-06 bolt action or something like that and love it. But once you get into shooting ARs or AKs or just more fine-tuned platforms, it's really cool. And then you add, optics and lasers and all that shit. There's just such a learning curve, and I like trying to learn about stuff that I care about for sure. So I don't even know how it kind of advanced into that, because no one else is in that. No one else in my family. There was not the cooler older brother. I am the fucking older brother. And especially my family, they were into hunting rifles. They weren't into ARs and night vision and shit. So it's something that's evolved on my own behalf, I guess.
Yeah, same here, dude. No one in my family has guns, and I was the engineer that was guns are so cool. It's metal on metal, fire, human added lubrication. It's not supposed to run as well. It's not like a car that has an oil pool where everything is always staying lubricated.
Gas, dude.
Yeah, it's fucking tight. So this is the unobtainium right now.
Yeah, you just posted that shit. So sick.
Only one I know of in the United States right now. CZ Brentu 762 by 51. I got a dead air adapter, 3-prong coming for it, and I have a Nomad 3-prong adapter. I'm gonna screw to the back of the Nomad. I'm gonna put the Nomad on there and run the fuck out of that. I'm fucking kind of a little sissy little bitch these days. My tinnitus is bad. It's not enough to like. I mean, if I shut my eyes, put earplugs in.
Yeah.
You know.
I always sleep with fucking something playing in the background because I kind of have that ring too. It's not very great.
Yeah, and
nothing cool about going deaf.
It's funny because I hunted without a dog last year. For the first time, really solidly hunting without a dog and putting in the hours. And you need no ear pro when you bird hunt. And shotguns aren't too bad. You know, they're 28-inch gun, 20 gauge. It's really not that loud.
Oh, okay.
But I was having really high sensitivity in my left ear, and a fairly faint. My wife's like, dinner's done. I'm like, okay. You know, a little faint humming, but nothing like loud. And that sensitivity is gone after last year. And I'm no longer sensitive to sounds in my left ear. My right ear is real good. I can hear a fly fart from across the fucking room. But I have tinnitus in both ears. And it actually, my tinnitus started at a concert at the Vans Warped Tour 2010. No, 10th anniversary. 2010. No. It was not 2010. It was 2000.
Way before that.
It was 2005 or 4. It was their 10th anniversary tour of Warped Tour, and Finch played, and I was standing in front of the tower of fucking amps, and his mic had the most horrible feedback reverb that it resonated so strongly into my ear that I did have a touch of blood. And since that day, I just have, it's not deafness, it's just a little harder hearing than my right. And, you know, that was like the third band to play. I had the whole night ahead of me.
So there's the whole night, yeah.
Getting punched in the head and shit.
Vans Warped Tour, wow.
So
funny.
Yeah, so I hunted last year without ears. And I think I'm paying for it a little bit because I went to, like, Kansas and I was shooting pheasant loads, high brass, and when the wind's in your face, that sound comes right back at you. If it's blowing away from you, it's fine. But I'm suffering. So I'm really happy I got a bird dog because then I'm going to wear my OpsCore amps with the earbuds. And
it's so good, too.
Because I was always hunting birds getting wild flushes. Like, I didn't know when the bird was going to fucking pop out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's like I needed to hear it flush. I needed to hear the wing beat so I know what species it is because each upland bird flushes its own way. Like, if it warbles, I know it's a fucking mudbat. If it, you know, beats its fucking ass to death getting out of the air, it's a grouse. If it's a pheasant, they do a like as they fly.
All the cool little tricks you learn.
Yeah, so you need to hear that. You know, like when you're hunting pheasants in fucking Kansas, the roosters have a cackle and the hens have a kind of like a little chirp, and when it flies and the sun's in your face and you're hearing that chirp, you're like, oh, that's a hen, don't shoot it, because it's illegal to shoot hens. So, I'm fucking suffering a little. So what I'm going to do is, obviously with the dog, the dog's going to go on point, and then I know general direction where the bird is going to be.
Yeah. And
I know that if I push that bird, I'm going to be within 6 or 8 feet of it when it flushes. So I just need to watch, you know, whereas I get a wild flush from next to me and I have to hear where it is and put sound to eyes, eyes to gun, gun to trigger, you know, brain to trigger, bang. And so this year I'm going to hunt with Ear Pro. And it's super, you'll get made fun of wearing Ear Pro when you're hunting birds, but I'm going to put those earbuds in because those earbuds, the year that I shot after getting the OpsCore amps, the earbuds, the NFMIs, dude, I felt like my fucking hearing was getting better. Like, the tinnitus was getting less, and I was protecting my ears even more. And then I hunted 1.5 seasons without ear pro at all. And it's like, nope, I fucked it up.
Yeah. That's some like weird shit though. It's like the whole like tough guy mantra and like guns and bullshit, like to where, oh yeah, I'll just shoot with no ear pro or this or that. Like, if you can take a second to prevent you being hurt in the long run, why wouldn't you, you know?
Right.
Think of like, yeah, I fucking got my amps. I ordered them right before we went to fucking Texas, and I got them a little bit ago, and I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like, being able to hear like that 360 and just having that electronic ear pro is so nice, you know?
Yeah. Did you get the earbuds too, though?
I didn't. I know you were fucking preaching them, and I already placed my order by that time. So I was like, I kind of thought I was like shitting the bed by not doing it. But they're also so good to where I could just resell them and, you know, get them with the NFMI. Jesus Christ, such an acronym. But so I'm not super worried about it. I do like them enough to shoot without them.
Well, that's important.
But
I mean, they're still pretty good. But
they're still really good, yeah.
They're still pretty good. Oh, dude, did he just buy a Noveske? No.
Who?
Oh no. My neighbor texted me. He got a Geisley, URG or UGR. Or...
I kind of like those rails though. I like the way they look.
He got it in Fed Green Anno.
Okay, I don't like it anymore. Never mind. Tan is the only acceptable.
I do find that funny when you get those gear dorks that are like, oh, I want a URGI rail, and you see them with the Fed anodizing, and you're just like, but they're like posting on their Instagram that like, fuck bootlickers, fuck the Feds, and then they have a Fed URGI on their gun, and you're just like, you are the problem.
That's the biggest thing of like being public with the gun industry and the gun world. Like, it's so funny how to where, to me, like, there's no better like hypocrisy than there is in like the firearms industry or like the tattoo world. Like, to where you're like, oh, fuck all these snowflakes, fuck these weak motherfuckers. Guess what? Most of y'all are the most weak, the most fucking snowflakes.
Yep.
Or you see somebody like you or me, very heavily tattooed, very into shooting, and guess what? We fucking shoot a lot. We're pretty proficient, but they're like, oh, this guy's tattoos, he's fucking Antifa or whatever the fuck, like this, that. Like, bro, there is nobody more triggered than motherfuckers who think they're shooters.
Yep.
At the end of the day.
Yep.
Think of all the fucking people, dude, that post that shit with Noveske shit, with your shit, with my shit. Like, oh my god, dude. It is the biggest, like, are you kidding me? You're a grown man.
It's funny you say that because both Tim, Albert Defense, and Corey, Superior Defense, I did podcasts with them recently, and that came up almost every time. We talked about, Tim talked about, I don't know if you listen to the Tim one, but he's like,
I started today, actually.
Well, you'll get to the point where he talks about, sorry, spoiler alert. He talks about, he's like, man, like the gun, because we talked about his influences of his apparel. And it's all, you know, New Jersey Oi and New Jersey Hardcore. Yeah. And, you know, I get some of the references, not all of them, but I know what they're influenced by because I grew up going to shows and I know what album artwork and show flyers look like and all that. And he's just like, dude, most of these gun dorks that are into the Gucci gear hype drops, these dudes might not have hobbies outside of collecting Gucci-ass gear and stuff like that. They might not fit into some group or niche of people. They might not have a whole ton of friends. And they see this community that has, like, a really cool aesthetic paired with the fact that it's a gun community, paired with the fact that there's some high-end stuff and maybe they can afford the night vision or save up for it. And it gives them an individuality that they've never had around them. And then they become, in their mind, they have this individuality that, you know, if I own the Spiritus placard and I own these DEF CON vans and if I own all this, like, that's my individuality. But then you realize there's a whole sea of those dudes doing the same thing. And I said to Corey, we were talking about drops, I was like, dude, I've participated in one drop and that was DEF CON. Their first online release. That was it. I've never tried to get on a drop. Luckily enough, I'm friends with 99% of the dudes that do drops. So I'm just like, hey, I saw you do that teaser. Get me on the list. Here's the money. Send it to your PayPal. Let me know what shipping is. I'll pay you later. It's like, all right, cool, tight. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'll get some posts up. It'll be cool. I can't wait to run it, you know? And it's nice to have that, but again, Corey and I were talking, like, that shit's consumable. Like, if you're using it, holes in shirts, shoes wear out, gear breaks, gear wears out. Like, it's not this holy fucking, you know, we're just like blowing our fucking gourd up talking about how some people are spending, you know, $1,000 on here, and, you know, the fog forward hats for, you know, $300, $400 on eBay. And I get it, you know, it's the Patagonia never release again stuff, but then we're talking like, you know, 30 years from now, where they're like, man, I spent $350 on a fucking hat because I, you know, because I thought it gave me some online Instagram street cred owning it at the time, but two of my friends actually give a fuck, and, you know, now I'm fucking broke because I spent my paycheck profits outside of my bills on a fucking hat. You know?
That's what gets me, like, dude, we're fucking friends with all the same people. I'll still get on, like, the drops, and I'll buy their shit, because I believe in their company.
But you wear it!
I love their shit, and I wear it, and I run it.
And you run it.
You think motherfuckers that fucking get a hole in their shit, or they scratch their rifle, and they're like, oh no, my rifle's scratched. Guess what, bitch? It's gonna get scratched. If you're fucking shooting that thing like you should be, you're gonna fucking wear the paint. You're gonna fucking scratch it up, and that's good. That means you're actually shooting.
Yeah.
You're not just having it for Instagram.
Dude, you're so spot on. I mean, I have the DNC DCU Whoopee from Warm & Fuzzy, and I wore it to a night operators class on the DNC side the first night, and one of the guys was like, damn, you're gonna run that super limited fucking Whoopee for that? And I was like, yeah. And then literally 30 minutes later, we're doing groundwork and with rifles, and my SureFeed magazine gets caught on my elbow and tears it open. I've got fluff hanging out of it, and I'm like packing it back in. We stick some duct tape on it, and then I ended up ordering some nylon patch kit for like tents, and I found like an OD green patch, and it is the same color as the DNC OD, like that drab green, and I just stuck it over packed it back in, stuck it over the elbow, and just a warm iron, not hot, and got the adhesive into the fabric, and I've washed it like 4 times since. It's still holding.
That's sick.
So, but you know, you're just running your shit, you know, and a guy was like,
you should be.
This guy was wearing a roadie hoodie, like a Gen 1 roadie from Warm & Fuzzy, not the Gen 2, and he's just like, yeah, I'm running the Gen 1 because he made a lot of them, or the Gen 2. I'm running the Gen 2 because they made a lot of them, but I got the Gen 1 and another one in the car that I won't wear for this shit. And I'm just like, damn, like, it's a real thing. Like, people are real serious about it, which is cool.
So weird.
But again, we can't judge. We talked earlier about how tattoos are fucking cool, dude, and you can't just, it's just, if you think it's cool, it's cool. So
that makes it cooler, though. That it's worn and beaten up. That means you fucking used the fucking thing.
Well, yeah.
I fucking wore my fucking, you know, chocolate chip Warm Fuzzy hoodie in the helicopter, and there's fucking hot grass flying, and we're fucking getting out. Like, I want that experience. Like, I want my gear to wear the fucking same shit that I'm wearing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I want it to be beat up and hurt because I put it through its paces and I know it's always gonna work. Like,
well,
that's weird.
Yeah, we're the same way. Like, just run our shit. Run our shit. So we just got our furniture delivery after 7 months of waiting. And so I was actually going through my drawers today, and I found some, like, you know, gifted shirts from, like, the Pulling Our Tactical crew that don't fit because they're Euro-sized XLs and, you know, stuff that I've been holding on to for a really long time. And I'm like, man, this stuff's, like, really nice, and I really never wore it, or, you know, or I wore the shit out of this. It's got holes in it. Like, what the fuck? Or just, like, strangely sized stuff. So, like, I'm a 2X because I have a long torso. But I hate when the shoulders are too long on 2Xs. Like, I want the seam on the top leading edge of my shoulder.
So particular.
Well, no, because then sometimes certain 2Xs, they make you look like you're 700 pounds because they're off shoulder.
Boxy as fuck. Yeah.
So I end up turning them to cutoffs. You know, so I have a fucking pile of shirts that I'm gonna cut tonight. I have like 7 shirts. Yeah. I'm like, I love all these shirts, and dude, some of them are sub def shirts. People will go bananas for, if I cut them.
Yeah, dude.
So I'm gonna cut them all the fuck up, run them as cutoffs all summer. I wear cutoffs year round. Like, oh, cut off when I wake up in the morning. Oh, it's cold. Put on a sweatshirt, tight. But they're cutoffs. But I have a pile of clothes. I'm like, this company sent me a free T-shirt. That's super nice of them, but it just doesn't fit right. I don't like the fit of it. So I donate probably 2 trash bags a year of clothes to the homeless shelter. Of good quality. I put 2 pairs of Vertex pants that I've worn twice in there. Because Vertex pants, dude, they have so much dust in them. Like the original Gen 1 Delta stretches, they use like a fucking linen for the pockets. Every time you sweat and you pull your phone out, it's like the Sahara Desert of dust. Yeah. And you're like, what the fuck? So they changed it to mesh. But then the material they're using in the elastic into the pants, it still wicks dust. So like, fuck these pants. Yeah. So I have it's probably like $300 in clothes in a bag that I'm just gonna give to Goodwill. So, or not Goodwill, to the homeless shelter. But it's good though. We trade shirts. Sometimes people will send us care packages. The shirts just don't fit or whatever. And I'm like weird. I don't like giving friends like older shirts. Like if I've like washed it once, tried it on, didn't fit, I'll give it away. Otherwise, it's just I'm gonna donate it. So. But yeah, I'm like going through like, man, this shirt is fucking badass, but beat the shit. You're out.
Here we go.
You're out. But it's always fun digging through drawers and finding like old tattoo shirts or tattoo shops you visited or all that cool shit and pulling the shirts out and just being like, yeah, this is fucking tight. So, all right. So you do American traditional tattoos. You have your cool style. You did all the cool stickers for Noveske, the Space Invader, Martian artwork. Mm-hmm. We did a collab together that was super badass. In the firearms industry, tons of awesome people always tag you, post your stuff. It's almost like you're part of the industry, but you're not. Like you've helped out in an artisanal sense with stuff that's not even gun related. It's just cool, and people love you, love being around you. You have a bubbly, cartoonic personality. Yeah. I fucking love you. It's so much fun.
Love you, dude.
It's so much fun hanging out with you and the posy. It's like very posy hang out. It's always positive shit. It very rarely is anything dark or negative. It's always like, hey, this is the coolness that we can find in whatever situation. We make the best of it when we're together. So we've done 3 segments of this to protect it. But dude, we're like almost at 2 hours, so we're gonna have to call it.
All right, dude.
Because you and I could talk for fucking ever.
Literally.
But I think this is great. A lot of people that see you tagged and stuff, a lot of times they're like, who's Tuffasstats? What is he? Like, what does he do?
Oh, yeah.
He did a bunch of artwork for Noveske. He's got this cool style. He loves guns. He's kind of that vibe check kind of. Yeah, it's just cool. It's just rad vibes, right? So a lot of times people ask me like, oh, or people hit me up and be like, you got to hang out with Dylan from Tuffasstats. That's so fucking cool.
So fucking
I love it. I think it's so fucking rad. I think it's so cool that people think you're so cool for just being a tattoo artist that kind of found some parallels and now you hang out with a bunch of really cool people and you get to go on cool trips and be participant in a lot of cool events just from your influences of some things.
I think it just comes down to being genuine, dude, because at the end of the day, like, why the fuck are any of us hanging out with any one of us? Because we're all genuine, we all can learn from each other, we can all have fun together. Like, that's where it's kind of weird to me. Like, I don't see myself as someone bigger or cooler, or I fucking think I'm a loser. Like, I think I'm a fucking weirdo, like...
We both feel that way about ourselves.
Dude, we both do, and that's where we always vibe on that, but, like, it's funny to where you hear people talk to you on, like, a pedestal, and you're just like, bro, you're so wrong. Like, I'm a fucking bozo. Like, get out of here. Like, but at the end of the day, that's why we all have each other, is, to bring ourselves up and be like, because we always like to look at people through, like, rose-colored glasses, but we look at ourselves so harshly.
Right.
So that's, like, the really good thing, I think, about being around like-minded people is, like, you see me, and you're, like, into me, and I see you, and I'm into you, and, like, it's good to be around with people that get that,
Yeah, because when we're with each other, we just build each other up. We have so much fun.
Exactly.
It's super positive. And, I mean, like, you know, Corey refers to himself as a kook. A kook that makes t-shirts.
Right.
You know, like, we all think we're just a little fucking off. But I think, you know, Warm and Fuzzy has done such a great job building a group of like-minded people and putting them together.
100%, dude.
So, yeah, it's been tight. And it's super cool because I was like, yo, you're like, yo, are you going to Texas? I was like, yeah, you going to Texas? Yeah, we're both going to Texas. Fuck yeah, dude. Like, you want to rent helicopters together, bro?
Yeah.
You want to fucking... Dude, we're going to slap pigs from a fucking chopper? Let's do it!
Dude, yeah, let's just get fucking nutty. Let's get nutty and have a silly goose fucking time, dude. Like, that's what it's all about. That's why we work so fucking hard.
Yeah, like, it was like, we vibed so hard in Texas. We're just like, you know, and I love everyone that I met in Texas that I'm friends with now that were like, hey, can we go up in the bird together? It was tight. The weather kind of fucked up some shit. Timing, time of day, people getting too fucked up the night before to make early lifts. So, you know, it's cool. It's the experience. But you and I ended up just being like, all these people are ride together, but people are trying to get rides when they can. And then it's like, all these people are like, yo, but I want to ride with you. I'm like, yeah, I want to ride with you too. But then it was like, nah, Dylan and I are going to go.
So we just need part 2. We just need to re-up it.
And then and then you and I were like, fuck it, let's just go get together. Like, let's just do it. But it's cool though, because you know what? I'm glad like I didn't go up with Steve because I was like, dude, let's do hog hunting Steve style, and went to visit Texas.
And then you guys ended up doing that, which was so rad.
Texan ammo, and I got to shoot my very first deer, species of deer. I've never shot deer before.
Sick.
And I got to shoot an Axis with a SIG 5.52 SWAT.
So rad.
Or something like that, 7.62. With ball ammo. Like, I was running, like, Russian ball fucking ammo.
Dude, that was, like, the fucking funniest thing. We were in the fucking helicopter, same thing. They brought that 5.55 ball, or yeah, 5.5 grain ball, and we're just fucking, you know, shot placement, dude, just thing. And I would definitely hit him a couple times. Sorry, you with that big old 308 boy, just fucking...
I didn't run a 308. I was running 7.60 by 39, but still.
Oh, 39, that's what it was.
But I was running...
The new Bren you just got was 51, yeah.
Yeah, so the Bren 2 7.62 by 39, 8.5-inch barrel.
That's what I was thinking, yeah.
And I was running the 142 Fusions. The soft point.
Out of it, yeah.
Yeah, so the Federal Fusions, dude, that shit is a fucking sledgehammer. Like,
dude,
if you watch the video, so you're plugging it with ball, and you're seeing like the hair flick around a little bit, and you can see it. Yeah, you can see it's like, okay, I'm fucked up. Like you fucked up a bunch of pigs too, though. You dropped a bunch of pigs too, but but like you said, shot placement. But then it's like. You just see in the video where the fucking 7.62 hits its spinal column and it like white mists it, you know, like bone and fucking spinal fluid, like, psst, and you see that pig just fucking get. It's almost like watching an invisible hand smush the pig to the ground.
But it's a good.
And you're just like,
analogy, yeah.
You're just like, damn! Like, you, like, boom, holy fuck that up. And we're not, like, laughing because we want to hurt animals. It's just, it's an impressive... Hunting pigs is an extermination of a human-created fucking pest. Anyway, we gotta call it. It's been a fucking pleasure. And you know what, dude?
Always.
I don't know if I showed you, but right over my gaming setup, the only piece of art that I can see is... the artwork that you did.
The painting I did for you?
The painting that you did. He did a Kydex, ANR design Kydex painting. Maybe we'll get some footage of it for the video.
We'll some more.
But it's a child crying, and it says, "Where's my order?"
Dude, could you think of something better?
Oh,
all these fucking
it's great. You got a fucking daisy with a holster in front of it, a dagger going through ANR with parchment, like peeling the paper apart. A skull, and then a heart and a rose that says Kydex. So it's fucking badass. It's like traditional Flash, but it looks great. And I got a nice, beautiful frame for it. Again, dude, you're a brother. Your family.
Dude, love you, homie.
I love you. Thank you so much for being a participant in episode...
Always, man.
We're on 12, right? Episode 12.
12.
Of
Let's go.
ANR Design Unholstered Podcast, episode 12 with Dylan, Tuffasstats, Tuffasstats. I can spell.
Boom, nailed it.
Alrighty. I love you.